William Shakespeare once said, "What's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell just as sweet." Well, the name of today's whiskey is Chicken Cock, and it's damn good. Despite being relatively new to the market, Chicken Cock whiskey is actually a very old brand. James A. Miller started the brand in 1856 in Paris, Kentucky. Miller was a farmer at the time who saw the rooster as a sign of defiance and pride. Well, roosters at the time usually were called chicken cocks, and so the name was born. Sadly, tragedy would hit Miller and his family, and in 1860, at the age of just 42 years old, Miller would suddenly pass away. The distillery and its contents were auctioned off and purchased by William Tarr, who would expand the distillery and get them to be producing the most barrels of anyone in the state of Kentucky. While imitation can often be seen as flattery, not so much in the whiskey game. To deter counterfeiters, barrels were produced with one side of the barrel head saying J.A. Miller, Old Bourbon Distillery, the other side saying J.A. Miller's Chicken Cock Whiskey. The brand would continue to change hands over the years. By 1882, they were making double the amount of barrels as any other bourbon distiller in Kentucky, and by 1883, they became the first bourbon to export into Canada. Fast forward to 1920, when Prohibition would hit America, and whiskey could only be sold for medicinal purposes at pharmacies. This became very cost prohibitive for a lot of smaller distilleries, and large foreign companies began to buy up the mom and pop distilleries. A Canadian company would purchase the Chicken Cock name and began producing it in Canada in metal tins where they would fill it with Canadian rye, using the same name. As a result of Prohibition, smuggling alcohol into America became a huge illegal industry. Chicken Cock whiskey would eventually find its way to the Cotton Club in New York City, one of the most popular speakeasies in the world. Chicken Cock was so popular at the Cotton Club, it would eventually become the house whiskey brand. The club was frequented by all the famous jazz musicians in the world, and Duke Ellington, who often would perform there, referred once to Chicken Cock as one of his favorite whiskeys in his memoirs. After Prohibition, the popularity of whiskey in America began to wane. Eventually, Chicken Cock whiskey name came to an end. This all changed in 2011 when Maddie Antilla was doing research on popular old whiskey brands and rediscovered the brand. In 2017, the Chicken Cock brand was reborn. 30 barrels came onto the market. They would go on to win a double gold at the 2017 San Francisco Spirit Awards. Because of this, they became extremely popular and quickly sold out. Today, the brand is distilled by Bardstown Bourbon Company and distributed by Grain and Barrel Spirits. They recently opened a brand new tasting room in Bardstown, Kentucky called Circa 1856. So if you see this one on the shelf, guys, don't be deterred by the name. Chicken Cock Whiskey is a great, original, old brand of bourbon that's recently re-emerged. It's fantastic. You guys should check it out. I think you're gonna love it. So everyone, thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe, like the video, leave a comment below. We'll see you soon. Cheers. Whiskey can only legally be sold in America. Called Circa. Fuck, there's a missing word. Circa. Terrific old band. Guys, don't be dissuaded. Today, the brand is distilled by Bardstown. Today, the brand is distilled by Bardstown